The title of this book is The Treachery of Royalty. It may be obtained from searching bookshelves in the Great Library and the Arceus House of the Great Kourend on the new continent of Zeah. Hope you guys enjoy this reading. The Treachery of Royalty. It is generally acknowledged that the death of King Byron III was not as straightforward as it was reported at the time. The young king was found brutally stabbed to death in his chamber by guards who, after mobilizing the militia, conducted a thorough search of the royal compound where they found the assassin. It is reported that the day before his trial, the assassin was killed by a guard who, through grief, could contain his feelings no longer. I will hope to show that there were other factors in the murder of King Byron III. To start, we must look at Queen Byron I. After the death of her husband, King Byron II, she took control of the kingdom until her son, King Byron III, came of age. It was no secret that at this time she took Lord Piscalaris as her consort, who fathered her daughter, Queen Byron II. At the time of the death of King Byron II, Lord Piscalaris also held the position of Lord of Intelligence, and as such, responsible for the spy network in Kourend. This position he held until his death, and was subsequently passed on to his son. It is also known that Queen Byron I was loath to give up the throne to her son, as she said in her speech, "If 'twere not a requirement within the law of my departed husband, I would finish the work for this kingdom that I have started." If we take into account Queen Byron I's desire to remain on the throne and her relationship with Lord Piscalaris, who had the ability to arrange an assassination through the spy network, we see an intriguing plot developing. Finally, let us look at the death of the assassin who was caught for the murder of King Byron III. King Byron III was a mediocre king. He was not in power long enough to create any strong sense of adoration and had not achieved anything of note during this short time. When combined with the lack of public display of the body of the assassin, as would have been normal in those times, I am left with the conclusion that the death of the assassin never took place. And with that, we've reached the end of this audiobook. One thing this book in particular reminds me of is the assassination of John F. Kennedy, one of the American presidents, because there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding that, particularly how the assassin was, or the supposed assassin, was assassinated before his trial by, I think it was a mob boss, correct me if I'm wrong, and along with that, there's mention of the head of intelligence in there, which for the American allusion to that would be the CIA, which if you look at the Kennedy assassination conspiracies, there's a lot that involved the CIA because the CIA didn't get along with President Kennedy at the time due to conflicts such as the Bay of Pigs, amongst other things. But that's what this book really reminded me of. It seemed like an allusion to real life, sort of, with that whole ordeal. As for the lore and the game in and of itself, it just seems like plotline and conspiracy, treachery, treason within the royal rulings of the Piscalaris house and Arceus house, well, Kourend in general, and it just sort of adds some life to the land. It's not a perfect place. They have political power struggles, corruption, treason, treachery, assassination, cover-ups, conspiracy. just like anywhere else in the world, it seems. So, definitely interesting. Let me know what you guys think below, if my comparison to Kennedy was at all accurate. Maybe I'm just associating those two things because of their similarities. It might not be a direct reference to that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow with another audiobook. Peace, guys.